One of the first things you're going to want to do is go into Settings, System Settings. This is where all the settings for the systems are set up. They're stored in the database, so any client that connects to that one database will pick them all up. You have to be an administrator to access this screen. Password history, by default, is 2. It means if you change your password, you cannot use your last 2 passwords. You can set that to 0 to turn it off. Location of additional files. If you have older records and Word documents, you keep them all in a folder and you want to be able to quickly pull them up, this is where you would set that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to set it to my iDrive just for demonstration purposes, but you can set it to any path. And I normally recommend using a UNC path if you're going to be hitting from multiple computers. So have it go to a share.
So use a UNC path as opposed to a share?
Well, UNC path will point to a share.
Okay.
Whereas I'm using like icon / for this demo, which is going to be a local path, which means that only works on this machine.
Does everybody know what a UNC is?
I was just going to ask, what is that?
UNC path, yeah, I'll just pull it up, is like RCS-file 1. Like that would be a UNC path pointing to the rep response FS1.
I've seen it before. Okay.
As opposed to just having like R : for the URL mapped to R drive.
Exactly.
And a network instead of a local. Right.
Correct. Days of sign stays on the property. If you put an advertising sign out and you have a standard or above, what it will do is you can say, this is the day I put the sign on. After that number of days, and the default is 14, it will generate a report which will say, here are the signs that are ready to be picked up. So those are your general settings. Yes, I want to save them. System's been updated. Email. Default email address. info@represponsecs.com. I already entered that on the main site. When I entered the company information, it copied it over here for you. The SMTP server would be whatever server you want. So SMTP dot, no, we support AOL or any address you want. SMT port, this is the standard port for client connections.
557.
587. If your email company tells you to use a different port, you would put it here. User, whatever your username is. One thing to keep in mind, if you change your password on your email system, you must come in here and change it here too. Otherwise your emails will stop. Also, some email companies, if they get so many failed attempts, will blacklist an IP and you have to say, Mother, please reset my access. Like AOL is one that does that. And they normally will charge you a service fee to do that. So it's very important that if you change the email password for the account you're using, you also change it here. Otherwise, the server is going to get blocked by your email company. It could possibly get blocked by your email company. It's been updated. Templates. There are, if you are pro or above, there are 4 standard emails that go out. You can say what format you want it in, plain text or HTML. Put in your subject line. Now something else you can do, reference number, and if I right click, right here, it'll bring me a list of wildcards that it will insert. So I'm going to say insert job ID. So any email that goes out in the subject line, at the very end it'll say reference number, and it'll insert the job ID of the job that you were emailing about. So this way when your customer just hits reply and says, I'll take it, no other details, you at least will have the reference number in order to go back on. Anything you put in here, this is what will be in the message. Let me go down here. You got your copy, cut, paste like normal. You can insert your job type, which we'll go over in a little bit what the job types are. Salesman name, as you'll see here says sincerely name. If a salesman has not been assigned, then we'll insert the company name in that field. The job ID I did above, the tracking number, the effective date, and point of contact name. So you can say, dear point of contact, here's the information. So these are the wildcards that we have in the current version. Any questions on this? Let me save it. Follow-up. Follow-up is almost, all these are the same. The one minor thing is follow-up has this additional field to send after. If you put in that you sent an invoice after 28 days, which is set here, it'll then put out a report of, okay, here's the people you need to call back because you sent a proposal, but they haven't gotten back to you. If you sent their proposals to them via email, it will automatically email them using this template. You can also say, I want to attach a file to this email. And you can just choose a file, whatever you want, and it'll be in there. So if you want to have a brochure about why use my company, you can have that as an attachment automatically on every email that goes out as a follow-up. If, I said it sends out a report. In that report, if the person has, was sent an email for the proposal, it'll automatically be sent and it'll be listed that was sent. If it wasn't, the email sent to field will be left blank, and those are the ones you actually have to pick up the phone and call. Invoice, if you can want to email an invoice, right here, put in your template, it'll automatically attach a PDF version of the invoice. And a thank you. It'll follow up an email after you mark the job as complete and paid. That night, it'll send a thank you. Again, you can put in whatever subject, text, and again, you can do a plain text or an HTML email. We have a couple other settings that right now are under other attachments for all job-related emails. If you want an attachment to go out for every email, you can select that here. We are working on migrating them up here, but these are the ones that haven't been migrated yet. Company logo for your letterhead, so that when you generate your invoices and all, you select your company logo here, and we'll insert it into all the documents we generate. Invoice closing line. At the end of the invoice, if you want it to say, thank you for your patronage, this would be kind of like the memo block in the QuickBooks invoices, where you can just do a quick final, thank you for shopping with us. Standard terms. We've got some generic standard terms in here. You can customize them to be whatever they want, and every contract that you send out will have these general terms put in there.